way, Forte.
Oh my
All
word.
right.
I gotta say all that.
Okay, we've made it. We've made it to this point. What do you guys think?
God damn, I got balls of steel for calling Leanne Cassidy a fire. I felt that was.
Yeah, that was close. You were close in my books on that one.
Look, I was holding my tongue for so long. Okay.
She wasn't lying. She does praise him in private to a lot of different people, and I've heard the conversations a lot of times.
I think.
So you were without merit on that. I think Forte's a fucking idiot.
I think Forte's an idiot and a liar. I told Leanne, I believe Leanne. I don't believe Forte, because even Leanne went back and betrayed Forte in the middle of that. She's like, I'm gonna overstep my undersheriff and say that we would like him back into BCSO. So I believe Leanne when she says that I like Tinky, but when Forte says he likes Tinky, I think he's fucking lying, and I would die on that hill.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of of how he conducts himself in this position. And I also think that Forte's one of those types that doesn't really know what the fuck he's saying before he says it, and he ends up just going around in circles trying to figure out what he wants to say in the middle of talking.
It's true, but I mean, are we whispering here? Or are we talking?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
let me whisper.
This is private now.
That's true, but I was trying to take it back when I put the ball on the tee and I just asked him, "Do you want to be a member of the BCSO as a result of this?" Like that's the baseline question. We're having a tribunal for you. Do you want it to turn out that you are a member of BCSO? And he says, "No, I do not."
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I was expecting, and he also took like 10 seconds. I was planning on harping on the fact that he would say yes and then saying, "Why did it take you 10 seconds?" If I was asking someone from my department, "Do you want to be a part of this department?" and they didn't immediately say yes, that's a big red flag to me.
I agree.
The fact that they took like 10 seconds and then said no is even more of a red flag. So I'm not even sure what we're even here for if he doesn't even want to.
He wants to be a cop. He just doesn't. He doesn't feel comfortable in the department. Is what I'm hearing.
Okay, so he wants to maintain like peace officer certification, but go to BCSO or Rangers or something.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, LSPD or Rangers. I mean to say.
Well, I'm not so sure on the general formalities of if we were to decide. Do you guys? What do you guys like? Just off the cuff, what's your general thought? Rehire, yes or no?
Yes. Not in the same position, but I mean, look, understanding his wishes, to not be in BCSO. Like, when you say rehire, you mean UPD or?
Yes. First off, start off. I don't know the stipulations on how this works. If it's a rehire, if it's going to go directly back into the department, if that's how it's supposed to be, or because I'm not a big fan of disciplinary transfers, if that makes sense. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think, because I'd rather transfers happen when they're on good terms than if they're on bad. And I know Leanne's a big proponent of that, because if there's spite transfers, it's just going to create a toxic environment.
Right.
I do agree.
Yeah, I mean, like,
sorry, go on, Ripley.
Like a lot of places where there'll be like multiple law enforcement agencies, county, city, state. Not every state is the same, but a lot of places will have like a certification or classification, like, for example, just calling someone a qualified peace officer. They're not employed by any particular law enforcement agency, but they're basically recognized by the commissioner's board that you have passed any, prerequisites to be a law enforcement officer in the state. And then it's with that sort of certification, it's up to them to shop around and pitch themselves to a law enforcement agency and be hired by them. It's kind of like a free agency type of thing. Basically, we're saying you're fit to be a cop, but you still have to convince someone to hire you.
Right. Okay. So this is I think we allow the rehire. Okay. I don't know if this, I think you should be rehired first off.
I've no red flags that are big enough that I would say he's not fit to be a cop. I just think that
he's just an idiot.
True. But at least the flip side is it seemed like the BCSO was amicable to the idea of rehiring him, at least. Even if his idea was right now, and I'm sure what he meant, I know I put him in a tough spot. I said yes or no. If he had a chance to say, no, but I'm sure he would have said, no, but if I could change a few things, then I'd be happy to be a cop there. Just knowing right now how it is right now today, I don't want to be there. But that just gives him more motivation to be there and be a part of the change he wants to see. So I'd say yes.
I think.
Well, then I think we're all in agreement on that one. So all right, he's getting rehired. That's number one. But I don't know about the punishment or the stipulations on his rehire. I don't know if we leave that to the department or if we offer a suggestion or demand on the position.
Well, I'm biased in giving an answer to that because one, I know where he doesn't want to go, and two, I don't think Ripley nor the park rangers are going to be quick on hiring him, so that leaves only me. So if I vote leave it to the department lead, I know that means I'd have to be the one to make that decision. So I want to leave you two to make that vote.
They said yes, that they'd be considered, they'd want him. So I think they'd be open-minded to re-interviewing him. No, I meant BCSO.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to go back to the BCSO. His problem is Forte. He simply is incompatible with Forte. He doesn't. BCSO is not an option for him because Tinky doesn't want it to be an option for him. Even if Leanne says yes, he doesn't want to because he doesn't like the way it goes. And I think with all of LSPD showing up here today for his tribunals, I think that's weighing on his mind.
Well,
very good point.
There's 2 points to that. I mean, number one, we're doing this in Mission Row. Number two, there's more officers around than there are BCSO this time. Number three, I do on the stipulation that it's going to be kind of awkward with him coming back into the BCSO. I don't really foresee Forte leaving, holding this position for a long time. He hasn't done too much impressing for what's good for him at this point. He doesn't really command respect. He doesn't have the confidence or charisma to really hold it, and it's always kind of a project for every single thing. So I don't think that this will be a long-term issue. Personally, I don't know if this is if Leanne's going to stay keep him as a project or whatever, but this was kind of a cult thing. Let's just be real. This Forte was thrown there as a cult thing, as both of you were. You know what I'm saying? So he was in that bunch. So she really tried to make it work. I don't know if it's going to be possible, is what I'm thinking.
I don't know either, but I mean,
doesn't really conduct himself. I mean, Ray does great. Like that's the flip side, right? You got Ray.
Good Nepo hire
Ray.
pick.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was a great Nepo hire pick, and I'm just saying, but he did great. He's doing great. He's holding it down. He's running shit without you probably even needing to tell him to. And Forte needs fucking literally everything spelled out for him, which is the complete flip side. So anyway, I love Forte. I've known him a long time. I think he's a great dude. I just don't know if this position's really great for him. It's just so I don't think that they consider that in part of this too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm always a big fan of just give someone enough news to hang themselves with. If they can't do it, at least give them the chance to, and let them fail rather than
right. Yeah.
Because I think you're right. He maybe doesn't, but I'm willing to see him fail rather than preemptively call it.
I agree, right? I'm not going to assume that Forte is not going to be in the position that he's in. I didn't know Forte too well when he got into his position, so I'm like, oh shit, this guy must be some big deal that I didn't understand, and my mind has been completely open because clearly. I know Leanne's not stupid and Colt's not stupid, so I knew he picked them with good faith and good intentions and a good mindset behind it. So I was excited to see who my new friend, the co-worker, was going to be. But then he goes ahead and does this, and I'm a little disappointed. High key. That's Zoomer talk. I mean, little bit disappointed in the actions he's undertaken. I don't want to make a vote for decision on Tinker to rejoin the BCSO. On a maybe Forte won't be there idea because he's incompatible today.
No.
And there'll be drama within the next week.
Agreed. However, this is another thing, if he can go back into the department and fix these differences, if they work them out and they end up coming through, because if something happened with Davies and Davies was able to see him from one pain position to a good position, he may be able to do this again. And if he's offered that opportunity to correct that and bury the hatchet, figure out a basis of trust and move on from there, it's actually may end up being a good thing.
Very well could.
Okay.
You know, so in terms of that, the only reason I'm bringing up Forte is I think he could have been a part of the pain points of this whole thing that
I
was
agree.
it was set up to fail in a sense, right?
I agree.
So that's the only reason I'm bringing him up and making a little bit of a point about it. I think he'll do. You know, I think so. We were offering him the position back. I do think he should go back in the BCSO. I do think he should. In terms of rank, I will allow that to solely the sheriff's decision. I feel like that's important because she's the one that does have the level of respect there, and he will appreciate her decision on this. You notice he always called her sheriff and always called him Forte.
I did catch on to that. Yeah.
I didn't notice that. He did? Oh, shit.
Every single time. He never said Leanne Cassidy. He never said Leanne ever once. But it was always Forte. Yes, that's why I brought that question up.
I didn't even notice that.
Right?
That's actually. I'm glad you picked that up. I didn't even notice that because I just call everyone by their name. Yes, I should call them by the rank. I'm terrible at doing it, and as chief, I forget. But no, that's a good point.
I said that I asked that question because I know he calls her sheriff all the time. Whereas that does in his mind change things, right? Like you know, there's a level of respect when he's calling someone like that.
Yeah.
The fact that he just I don't. That's why I was like, I don't think he really respected Forte taking the position ever, and he never really sold himself on it.
I definitely agree on the thoughts that he respects Leanne. He don't respect Forte, even though I have mixed opinions on Forte. Wishing him the best. I want to see Forte exceed. I love seeing change up into PD, but I guess it's just not working out. But I want to play my favorite game of Devil's Advocate. What if we offer? What if he gets offered a BCSO position again, and then Tinky goes, nah? Then what?
That's the offer.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to see spike transfers. I can't say I don't like disciplinary moves. I don't like that. I think it's a bad precedent to set.
I completely agree with you in that. I don't have a rebuttal, but I do have a concern. The concern is like, okay, well, if Forte is still the problem, and I won't dive into too much detail, but I know some girl gossip that other BCSO members have feelings towards him, as I'm sure LSPD, park rangers, and troopers do, right? Or even commissioner's office. If we put him back into that environment where even you admit yourself, Forte is a little undesirable, a little bit how you going, could be better. I don't think it's going to help Tinker resolve those problems when both he is one, incompatible, and two, Forte is also incompatible. And it doesn't matter how much the sheriff or he try hard enough to try and fix the problems. The problem is that Tinker and Forte are incompatible. He does not work with that relationship in the BCSO, and it's just a matter of time before either Forte or Tinker creates a new problem. And therefore, I can see your perspective on a spike transfer, but I'm trying to think of a solution to the problem, because I do agree with the spike transfer and the disciplinary transfers. But if it's just not working out, I'm trying to think of how do we keep Tinky employed where he's happy. And I'm not talking like, let's move him to the park rangers because he's happier there. I think it's...
See, what we're forgetting, though, what we're missing is I hear a lot. I hear a lot of talk up there. I've been spending a lot of time in the county, and I hear a lot of people that have support for him. When they heard about when this news got out, I heard a lot about how people were kind of upset. They like him. People love him. There's a lot of support still around him up there. So it's not just the one person. What I would suggest is first ride with the sheriff, get them reacquainted a little heart to heart, get him kind of situated and grounded. And then, when they're ready, they can, move it over to it, maybe have him spend some time with Forte, have a heart to heart, talk it on neutral terms where it's not in a pressure situation and it's kind of light, and they can start building that relationship back. And I think that things will start improving immediately. I know it'll probably be uncomfortable in the beginning, but as they go more and more time, let Tinker drive, do his thing, Forte get, passenger princess, whatever the fuck. And I think Tinker will have the control, but he'll have the presence of Forte. They can talk things over time, and I think it'll work out fine.
I'm happy to go with that, but I have one devil's advocate. If we're not going to allow spike transfers, which I agree on, I'm not disagreeing with that. I do agree about the spike transfers. We shouldn't allow spike firings, which is what I think happened here. This could have just been a suspension. This never needed to happen.
Yeah. Right. No, I do agree with it. I think it should have just been a suspension. And I think it was more of an inability to communicate and not necessarily a as insubordinate as it may have seemed. I think it was. I think there could have been some level of it, definitely, and I think there was a bit of tension and it was back and forth. You could see it just in this room how the communication goes, and it's a very frustrating thing to listen to.
Oh, it was so entertaining.
Sheriff
but
Cassidy
it's
even
also
mentioned like they were on the way into that room to discuss a suspension, and then it turned into a firing. She was surprised by it because I feel like Forte is relatively new to the command, the position that he's in, the role that he's in. And typically when people are newer to that role, they seem to be befuddled when they're faced with insubordination. And the first thing they usually grasp to is, well, you're fired. So that's probably what happened is he came in to suspend him, got a little lip, got a little bit of, pushback from Tinker, which, is what he's going to do. He gets defensive, he gets his heckles up, and he says he mouths off a little bit. And he said, well, now you're fired. That's someone in my role has to just fire you now. So probably just inexperienced.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's a learning experience for everybody. I also think, since Forte's so green, Tinker's he is what he is. I think it's a bit of inexperience and not enough time to kind of know how each other works really well. And maybe they just haven't had enough time to learn each other. So I think but put them back in it and allow them to choose. I don't think allowing him to just move is a good idea. I think I see what you're saying by a spite fire, but this is on Leanne to decide and figure out the problem, the issue there. And if he comes back in, they have the heart to heart. Let them ride together. If she feels as if it's ready, if you're willing, then I'm sure she would have no problem letting that transfer happen. But I'd rather it go on good terms and having that talk first before we move.
Matt, can I ask a personal question?
Yes.
When was the last time you were fired?
Never.
I'm green and being command. Let me tell you, you're green on how bad it fucking feels to get fired. That shit never goes away. That is not a talking out thing. I still feel certain ways about the people.
I've been demoted.
Nah, firing's different.
Demoted.
That is the scariest shit that can happen to you. It is hands down. It changes a man. It will change a person. When you get fired like that, your whole cookie crumbles. Tinker has possibly been losing his mind for the last 24 hours. And I don't think that's fixable. In his mind,
I think,
it's a wound. It's a big wound that will take an extremely long time to heal.
I actually, you know what? I do have a sense where that might come into play. How about putting a ton of time, having no issues, and then going to look for your job again, and you're told no. Later on down the line, we all know that part. We all know that one.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, you put a time in, you become a trooper, you fucking work your ass off, and then you're told no to get rehired, and you had to wait for fucking 6 months.
Is this between you two?
No, I don't know what he's talking about. No one would ever do that.
Fucking yeah. Then I had to make a cousin.
Well, I need to know the tea on this. What happened? Wait.
What do you make a cousin? Are you talking about in the South where like cousins make cousins or something like that?
Yeah, I had to go fucking
Make a cousin?
I had to call a cousin to become a cop, and I'll watch him fucking. I live vicariously through him.
Very strange. Anyways, back to this topic.
Anyway, that fucking sucked. So I get your point in a sense.
Yeah, then you would understand. I mean, even like it sucks. It fucking sucks. And that's a wound that is very deep. And I don't believe in emotions. They're crazy mental illnesses, but I do believe in logistical PTSD. And the math in his mind says, anytime I open up to Forte, there's a chance I'm going to get fired, suspended, demoted, belittled, or accused of insubordination. And therefore, I will never talk about my problems, and I will just bundle them up until I hate being here, and then I quit. Or crash out and do a Lenny Hawk.
I hear you, but I do think Leanne still has the respect. She can talk him down. She has a line of communication that's good, and that's at the very top. So if that's in a sense he feels protected from that side, I think he'll be all right. And then if it comes down to it, we'll suggest that disciplinaries don't ever come from Forte for him specifically.
Speaking of disciplinary, look, ain't my core. I'm just curious. I want the girl
Actually, no, I
gossip.
can't do that. I can't do that. They have to still do their.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. They have to function. You can't daddy them all the time. Like if Forte's got to own his position, And sometimes, I'm learning the harsh way. You got to make hard decisions as the chief of police, and you got to grow some balls, and you got to do it. But I was gonna say something, but it's escaped my mind. I feel like, look, did Tinker do things wrong? Yes. Do I feel like Forte and Leanne did wrong? Mostly Forte. I would say 80% Forte, 20% Leanne, honestly. I feel like I just can't shake the notion we're putting the victim back into an abusive environment. That's the only words I can say to do it.
Oh, what do you think? What do you
I
think?
kind of agree with that. I mean, he's right. At the end of this, you still have the same recipe that led to this disaster, and you're putting it all back in the box and just saying, okay, now this time, don't fuck it up. And we don't really have a direct line to make sure.
Don't piss off mommy
like,
and daddy. Don't do it again.
Yeah. Like, there's nearly no guarantee that this isn't going to head down the same tracks. We're sort of resetting it and saying, hey, we've identified where it led to. We didn't like where it went. We want to give you guys a reset here, but like, what action are we taking
Try again
to really help resolve the issue and steer?
How about this? We leave it up to him.
Yeah, make it his choice. But what doors are open to him, right? That's what we need to establish.
Well, I mean, are you willing to take him in the department?
As a senior officer.
Okay. Then we leave that on the table. And then we'll see what offer is given to him from the other side.
My apologies. Let me double check with my assistant chief instead of making the decision without him.
Yeah, good idea. I mean, I would definitely say, like, lay it on the table and let him, if he is going to go back to the BCSO, have him interview for each department.
Hello?
Have him sit down with them.
I just wanted to run an idea by you without... I wanted to run this by you without doing it without your ideas or opinions. TLDR, looking at giving Tinky an option. The options are the possibilities of going back to BCSO, pendant on Cassidy. We're assuming Cassidy will re-invite him. But we're also discussing giving him an option of joining LSPD. I propose the rank as senior officer, as I do not want him in an NCO position right now during an entire restructure. Would you?
Senior officer will have the opportunity to badge check at some point.
That's what I'm thinking. Senior officer, and he does a badge check.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you agree or disagree?
I believe Tinker, with the right command structure, with the right people around him, he will forever make stupid decisions. The same way you will sometimes make a stupid decision when you're bored, but it's in good faith of what it is. I think that Tinker is a work in progress, but he is a workhorse. He is steadfast. He will put up with the bullshit. He will cause us headaches. We will have to do PR, but he is 100% worth any headache he brings because his value outweighs the struggle. He also deserves to be around some folks who genuinely and truly have his back. And I think right now we are the island of misfit toys with a department that is so loaded full of trauma and past issues and struggles that I think we're at the point now where it might be a place for some folks to heal some shit, yourself included and me. So I would welcome him. Whatever decision he would make, whether it's BCSO, whether it's LSPD, I would welcome him either way. And I would hope the Unified Police Department would support him in whatever his next steps are.
You two got any questions for him?
No, that's good. I'm good.
Hold on, I can't hear them.
No,
you got to tell me when you have me on speaker.
Yeah, look, I only just put you on the speaker towards the end. I'm hoping they heard what you said.
I heard the little voice through the phone.
He heard the little voice through the phone.
Yeah, seemed supportive of it, so.
Okay.
Disregard any shot you here. It's Kibble and Meadows beefing over Cheeto Puffs. I've allowed them to Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner each other as long as it's solely about Cheetos Puffs.
Well, that is serious business.
Okay.
You don't fuck around that. Okay, gotta go. Thank you.
I'd like to button this up. All right, so you think that's good? So you're willing to give him a senior officer position with the chance for a badge check in the future to put him somewhere?
Yes.
Or we'll allow Leanne to offer a position first, and he can choose wherever he wants to go.
I think it's how you present it is very careful, because if you let her, you should make it clear what his doors are, and not like, if he says no to the BCSO, then we tell him about LSPD. We need to make it as unbiased as possible. I want you to say, hey,
lay both options on the table.
Yeah, both options on the table before he makes a decision.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, and I would say frame it in such a way that like he's aware
So
that
do we
those
want to
options
talk to
exist.
Leanne first and see if she's willing to we'll figure out what she wants before we offer the positions?
Sure.
Probably a good idea. I
Okay.
would.
But
if I
just
was her,
remember,
I'd want
I
to
know she's backpedaling, but that's her undersheriff's decision. I know she's probably going to backpedal, but her undersheriff made that decision. She got to stick by it, whether she likes it or not.
I understand that. Yeah.
She put him in that position.
She did. If Ray Lee did that decision, I got to own it. I got to own it. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I would
Okay.
like to know what the status is officially and what the tribunal's decided. Is he keeping his job or not before I proceed with
he will
what
be
was
reoffered employment. We wanted to see what you would do in terms of
Well,
getting
we have
back
reached
into
an
the mold?
agreement in that for the next month, he will be as bought in as he was as the day he transferred. And if he still can't somehow make it work, with or without Forte being under sheriff, to be decided,
To be
then
decided.
I will sign the transfer paperwork to the LSPD myself.
Sorry, to be decided. With Forte?
Yes, that's another topic for conversation for myself. Not here.
Understood.
But this has brought light to some things that I had not previously seen. And it would be a failure on my part if I did not pay attention to that. But that is the agreement that myself and Sergeant Tinker have reached. He has a month to be bought in fully. He has to give the actual energy. He cannot be checked out like he was in the last week. That kind of compiled to the situation. He has to give it an honest and true go. And if he cannot make it work, with or without Forte, I will sign the paperwork in 30 days.
Okay.
If
and
LSPD wants
this
him.
is something he wants to do already?
Yes, he's agreed
He's
to
agreed to that? Okay. Well, then I guess we
Oh,
just
yeah, he's made his choice.
that makes our life easy. All right.
Indeed, it
All right,
does.
thanks. Thanks, we're good.
Someone call me?
Yeah, we're good, man. Yeah, you're good to come in.
Yeah, come on, Tommy.
I kind of want to let him be over there because then I get to see what happens to Forte. So I kind of want to withhold my position of LSPD.
Okay. Well, we spent a bit of time trying to figure out what we were going to do in terms of first off,
Leanne is
we've all come to the
backstabbing.
unanimous decision that you will be reemployed if you want it. Is that something you want to do?
Yes.
All right, I figured that. Okay. We were trying to figure out maybe options for you coming back in. It sounds like you've already had the discussion with the sheriff on a solution. So we're going to honor that. What I would suggest is trying to try to. I don't think there's any bad blood, and I feel like between you and I, we've had some friction ourselves, right? And I hope we've grown from that since then. And I hope you don't think there's any malice. And I think this is the case with anybody from a position of colleague. And I really want you to try to take the same approach with the people that you may end up butting heads with, including, it seems like you have some trouble with the undersheriff. So I'd suggest going that way too with him. I know Forte for a long time, and I know he's a guy of integrity, and he wants the best for everybody. And I am the same way. So I just want
I'm
you
deaf
to
in this
try to
ear.
make that
All I hear
one
is
of your primary
vibration.
goals if you possibly can. From
And it hurts.
this is a personal standpoint. It's not.
I have to hear him through this ear.
So if you could make an effort to try to figure out where things your commonalities are and ways to make things kind of thrive and prosper, I would suggest you go that direction.
Here we go.
But we were happy to come to this conclusion to reoffer you employment, and I'm
Here we
glad
go.
to see you back in the force. Any stipulations you have with the sheriff, I would guess we're going to honor that.
Were you guys aware of the stipulations? Everybody in the room?
Yes, we spoke to the sheriff. She told us that you'd be coming in back as you transferred over, and if there is no way to settle the differences, or you're still having issues where you don't feel comfortable or can't make it work, then she said she would sign the transfer paperwork herself.
Understood, yes.
On that note, throw the uniform back on. I think we've had our 24 hours now, and you're clear to get back on duty whenever you want.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And to the delegation, thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you.
Thanks, Tink. It's good to have you back.
Thank you,
man.
Tinker.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Sheriff and Under Sheriff. Thank you.
Hey,
You have
Tinker.
uniform.
All right.
Hey, Tinker.
Yes, sir.
PD's better with you in it, all right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Unnecessary glaze, but okay.
True.
When we get that laser
Need to hear
treatment
it.
done?
I
His
think
first one's scheduled either today or tomorrow. I can't remember.
Yeah, we gotta get that shit off your face,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
working on
forwarded
it.
the money to cover it. So
Can we just get like a knife? Isn't that there's like the top layer of skin, right? You could just peel
well,
that back.
what's
That's
uncanny
not
is that
how it works.
so
It's multiple.
someone out there would do that on purpose to themselves and thinks it looks good.
Not me. I would love to get rid of it. Every day it's shameful, and I cry in the mirror when I'm alone in the dark.
Oh
Can't
my
you just use
God.
sandpaper? What
What
is
does it say,
sandpaper?
crop?
Can you just sand it off?
No.
Does that not work like that?
But it's time to clock in and get my uniform on.
Have
Oh,
you
shit.
have you just tried like soap or like bleach? Is bleach good for the skin?
What about like a skin color tattoo color? You know what I mean? Like just never tan or anything.
Like tattoo his face flesh color.
We have a solution that is both cost
Heaven.
effective and effective.
We've already come to a solution.
Oh, no,
For his face?
Yes, for his face.
Oh, his
Oh,
face.
for his face.
They
Okay, yeah,
say
yeah.
that
Yeah.
a hero could save us. I'm not
What the-
gonna stand here and wait.
Wow.
I withdraw
Anyway,
my offer.
There's a cross departmental offer here. The Mountain would be
Okay.
willing to rip his face off for free.
Oh wow.
Oh,
See?
wow,
And it would
is
just
co-
grow
but
back,
I already
right?
I already sent the 10K that everybody crowdfunded in the BCSO because
would
that's
still
what we
do
do
it
for
for-
family.
He would still do it for free.
I'm
Wow.
wondering why I gathered you all here today.
What the hell's going on here?
Well, let me presenting to you.
Yeah, well, did you
Hang on.
eat Cheetos recently? Hold on, flip around.
Wait, hang on.
Since there's a lot of command plus in here, there is an ongoing Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner situation between Kibble and Meadows. They're to
Uh-huh.
keep their beef between each other, and their hijinks are between each other. They have been granted permission because of the Cheetos.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
Mr. Crocodile, Chicken, please, I would like to request your time for my badge checking for the kibblementary. Not right now, but like tomorrow or something.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it tomorrow.
Oh, is this like a preview? Like a
Oh,
pre
yeah,
It's a
tomorrow.
preview of the badge
That's
check.
right. This is the preview of the badge checking. It's gonna be like nothing you ever experienced before.
I
What the
know
fuck
that
is
it won't.
happening right now?
This is a badge check, Forte.
Yeah.
That's
Ain't none of our business. This is LSPD stuff. we
LSPD
can
listens
just,
to every single one of their officers through and throughout. I want to learn everything. I want to know everything about my officers.
We do?
We do.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate your
That's why I
time.
sat here for
Well,
5
yeah,
days in a
you
row
did.
doing
the
this.
fuck?
While
Kill
y'all have
people's
been in here,
barbecues.
I am on
I
my,
will see
my
you here
serious
tomorrow,
subpoena that has been
some
approved.
point
And I
sharp.
went so far
Yes,
down the
tomorrow,
rabbit
some
hole that
point
not
sharp,
only
I
do
will be
have the
here.
Text proof of the
Perfect.
lawyer.
Thank you, sir.
I'm
I
on the
will
cusp of
also-
tying her to potentially
Stupid
2
hat.
counts of torture, 2
Stupid
counts
hat
of
girl,
attempted
stupid hat
second-degree
girl.
murder,
I hate
kidnapping,
you,
and all
I hate
kinds
you,
of
I
shit.
hate you.
Make sure you arrest
Sorry,
her.
Lee.
See, that's my Nepo pick. That's my Nepo pick. I'm so proud of my Nepo baby.
I swear to
Croc,
God,
you
I'll
should